Ladies and gentlemen, come fly with me as we explore one of the most prosperous and beautiful country, Singapore. So in this video, we are going to know the continent where it belongs, the map of the country, and then the area of the country, population of the country, percentage of male, and then the percentage of female, the system of government, the currency there, and its equivalent to peso, and then the minimum wages of professionals, privileges to workers, and then we present 10 popular places to visit in Singapore. Okay? So this is the typical picture of what Singapore is, a very beautiful and very progressive country. And this is their map, okay? So the white here, the red stands here above. The red stands for the universal brotherhood and equality of man, and then the white here below symbolizes pervading and everlasting purity and virtue. And then the crescent moon represents a young nation on the ascendant. And then the five stars depicts Singapore's ideals for democracy, peace, progress, justice, and equality. Okay, so this is the map of Singapore. So the city of Singapore is Singapore. And this is the continent, no? It belongs to the Asia, specifically to the region of Southeast Asia. So this is Philippines, and this is Malaysia and Indonesia. So Singapore, this one, is located in between, no? Malaysia and Indonesia. Okay. So the area of the country, its land area is 734.3 square kilometers. So the Singapore is just a small country, but a very progressive country. So before knowing the total population, we will first know its ethnicities. So 74% of the population there are Chinese, and then 13% are Malays, 9% are Indians, and others of Eurasian descent. So the total population of the country Singapore as of December 16, 2023 is 6,294,056, in which 50.4% from the total population are male, consisting of 3,172,825, and the female is 3,121,231, or the 49.6%. So our source here is the countrymeters.info/n slash Singapore Live. So the Singapore population is equivalent to 0.07% of the total world population. So we go now to the system of government of Singapore. So the government of Singapore is defined by the Constitution of the Republic of Singapore to comprise of the president and the executive. So the executive authority of Singapore is vested in the president, but exercised on the advice of the cabinet led by the prime minister. So the president, acting as the head of state, may only act in their discretion in appointing the prime minister, acting as the head of the government. So because it is a parliamentary democracy, so the prime minister here sets the national agenda, appoints cabinet officials, and governs party or coalition, and command legislative majority, while the president, elected by people, um, act as a unifier, a largely ceremonial head of state, and then control the national reserves and revoke and appoint public service appointment. Okay, so this is the current president and the prime minister of Singapore. Okay, their president is Tharman Shanmugaratnam, and their prime minister is Lee Hsien Loong. Okay, so we go to the exports of the country. So 43% of their exports or their products are machinery and equipment. And then as you can see here in the pie graph. And then the 19% is the petroleum, and then 13% are chemical products, and 8% is the miscellaneous products. Okay, so we go to the their currency. So the Singapore dollar banknotes and coins. So currently, Singapore has tickets or the paper money of the 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 1,000, and $10,000 are in circulation. And also for their coins, they have 1, 5, 10, 20, 50 cents, and $1. Okay, so we go to its equivalent, no, to the Philippine peso. So one Singapore dollar is equivalent to 41.87 as of December 16, 2023 to 31 p.m. Okay, this the value, no, of of Singapore dollar will change, no, from time to time. Okay, so the minimum wage, we go now to the minimum wage in Singapore. So the Singapore government has special rules in placing regarding the minimum salaries of foreign workers employed in Singapore. So they are referred to as the S-Pass and the Employment Pass or the EP workers, depending on the population they hold. Okay, so this is the typical illustration, no? The EP employees, the type of work pass, we have the E pass and the S pass. So the EP employees are qualifying highly skilled professionals. So their minimum monthly salary is 5,000 or 5,500 Singapore dollars. So we convert that into the Philippine peso, that is roughly about 209,350 or 285 in Philippine money. So the list of occupation belonging to the qualifying highly skilled professionals are executives, managers, directors, all other highly skilled professionals, also teachers. Okay, while the mid-level skilled workers in Singapore who hold the S-Pass will receive a minimum monthly salary of 3,000 Singapore dollar. So roughly, its equivalent to Philippine money is 125,610. Okay, and the list of occupation belonging to the mid-level skilled workers are technician, journalist, technical courses, specialized technical certificates. And then we also have the S-Pass or Skilled Pass for employees in the financial sector. The minimum salary is 3,500 Singapore dollar per month. Okay, so that is about 146,545 Philippine money. And it includes insurance agents and brokers, bank and finance companies, pension finding. Of course, this is not standard. Okay, so we refer this from the Ministry of Manpower, a website of Singapore, no? So this could change, no? According to the company, no, according to the company and the length of service that the workers rendered. Okay, now we go to the common employee benefits in Singapore. So they have their central provident Fund, or the CPF. It is a mandatory for companies operating in Singapore to contribute a percentage of the employee's salary to their CPF account. It is like SSS here in the Philippines. So, the CPF is a key pillar of Singapore's social security system and serves to meet retirement, housing, and healthcare needs. So, ang kaibahan lang dito sa Philippines, ang housing natin is sa pag-ibig, and then the healthcare natin, meron din tayong PhilHealth. Okay? And then they have annual leave, just like here in the Philippines. So, employees typically receive paid annual leave, and the number of days may vary based on the length of service and the company policy. So, minimally, according to the Employment Act, employees will be required to receive at least 7 days of annual leave. However, common practice usually starts with 14 days of annual leave, just like here in the Philippines. Okay? We are given our first year of service, we are given 7 days annual leave with pay. Okay, they also have their medical insurance benefits. So, employers often provide medical coverage or health insurance for their employees, which may include outpatient and inpatient medical expenses. And this is not mandatory under the Employment Act. So, it depends on the discretion of the management or the company. Okay, and then to continue, uh, uh, they also have their dental benefits. Some companies offer their employees dental benefits or dental insurance coverage. And then also they are having maternity and paternity leave. So female employees are entitled to maternity leave while male employees may receive paternity leave. And then they also have their public holidays. Singapore has several public holidays, and employees are entitled to paid time off. And then sick leave, just like here also. Paid sick leave is typically provided to employee to cover absences due to illness or injury. And they have their 13th month. And they term there as annual wage supplement or AWS. So often referred to as the 13th month bonus. The AWS is an extra payment given to employees usually around the end of the year. Okay, so they also have the variable bonus. So apart from the AWS or the annual wage supplement, some companies provide variable bonuses based on the performance of the employee, performance of the company, and of course, company profits. And then insurance coverage. Some companies offer additional benefits such as life or personal accident insurance. And they have their flexible work arrangement or work from home. No, certain employers may provide flexible work options such as remote work or flexible hours. And then they have the AAP, Employee Assistance Program. So this may offer counseling or support service to employees dealing with personal or work related issues. And it is important to note that the specific benefits and entitlement may vary. No? Sinabi ko na ito kanina, may vary from company to company and can be subject to changes in government regulations. So also with the performance of the employee. So it's always best to check with the employer for the most up-to-date information on their employees' benefits. Okay, so we go to the main types of leave in Singapore. They have their annual leave, the most common type of leave that every company will be required to provide to their employees. Next is the sick leave. Sick leave allows employees to take time off when they are ill or injured. It is usually paid and intended to provide employees sufficient time to recover from their illness. And they also have their hospitalization leave. It is an extended form of sick leave that comes into effect when an employee is hospitalized due to illness or injury. And then maternity leave, female employees are entitled to maternity leave when they are expecting a child. So the duration of maternity leave varies depending on the company policy and the employee's number of children. And then paternity leave is provided to male employees when their child is born, allowing them to spend time with their newborn and support their partner during the early stages of parenthood. Child care leave. Okay, they have there. This is available to parents of young children. Hindi ko to na-experience here in the Philippines, the child care leave. And then the family care leave, wala din to sa atin. Allows employees to take time off to care for their immediate family members, such as parents, spouse, children who are ill or require medical attention. And then marriage leave. So marriage leave grants employees time off for their wedding day. And then compassionate leave. Wala din ito sa Pinas, no? Compassionate leave is granted to employees in the event of death of an immediate family member or close relative. And then they have adoption leave. Employees who adopt a child may entitled to adoption leave to take care of the new addition to their family. And they have the national service leave. It is for male employees who are Singaporean citizens and have to undergo mandatory military service, may be entitled to national service leave. Okay, now we are done with the minimum wages and the privileges of the workers there. We go to the 10 places, a must visit places in Singapore. So, number one is the Ho Par Villa. Okay, so this Asian cultural park is famous for its history of Chinese culture and mythology. So you'll experience Chinese folklore and myths through an outdoor art gallery of over 1,000 statues and 150 dioramas, which depicts the stories of fabled Chinese literature. Next is the Joel Changi Airport. So Singapore's world-class aviation hub got even better in 2019 with the opening of Joel. So a dome-shaped complex home to breathe taking attractions fusing nature and remarkable architecture all under one roof. Okay, third is the Fort Canning Park. So you can enjoy the massive lawn of Fort Canning Green, surrounded by old gateways and gazebos. The park is perfect for learning and more about Singapore's history and simply unwinding and enjoying nature in the city. Okay, next is the Chinatown. So, home to tantalizing food, cultural heritage, and fantastic architecture. Chinatown is bound to charm with its attractions. You can embark on a heritage trail and take in the sights of Singapore's religious diversity at sites such as the Sri Mariamman Temple, Masjid Jami, and Thian Ho King Temple. Okay, next is the Spectral Light and Water Show. So stop by the event plaza facing Marina Bay to rest and enjoy a fantastic light and water show performed in the heart of Singapore. Using the darkened backdraft of Singapore's central business district, be treated to a 15-minute performance of laser beams, dancing water streams, and visual projections as accompanied by an orchestral soundtrack. Next is the Universal Studios Singapore. So, despite being located on Sentosa, Universal Studios Singapore deserves its own spot on this list. So, the birth child of Hollywood and thrill seeking. This theme park features 18 uniquely found movie theme rides designed exclusively for this park. Next is the Singapore Botanic Gardens. So garden is the perfect location to jog, picnic, lounge, and admire nature. In addition to being a UNESCO heritage site, the garden is also adding to leading botanical and horticultural research. Highlights of the park include the National Orchid Garden, home of the world's largest orchid display. Next is the Merlion Park, standing at 8.6 meters and weighing in at 70 tons. The Merlion is a national icon which turned 50 just this year. Located at the Merlion Park, this iconic structure is a sight to behold and will grant you a better understanding of why it is so closely associated with anything in Singapore and is the perfect place for picture opportunities that will scream Singapore. Next is the Clark Quay, primarily a night spot. Clark Quay is located along the Singapore River and is a home of iconic dance clubs, rooftop bars, and live music venues. So if you're looking to enjoy some drinks and take in the nightlife of this city, look no farther than visiting Clark Quay, where you'll be spoilt for choice about food, drinks, and of course, entertainment. Next is the Marina Barrage, a hot spot for fun in the sun. The Marina Barrage brings everything to the table. Situated across the 350-meter wide Marina Channel, the Marina Barrage boasts calm waters, great for kayaking and dragon boating. So land activities can also be enjoyed in the barrage rooftop. So with a huge green space available for sports, picnics, leisure, and kite flying. Okay, so that would be all about Singapore. And before I end my presentation, let me share to you one of the most famous Singaporean proverbs. It goes, better poverty before wealth than poverty after wealth. Okay, so that would be all, and thank you so much. God bless us all.